what's your day-to-day life? I mean, like, what are you dealing with? If you'd like to talk about it or not, I don't know.
As far as day-to-day since, December 22nd, 2018, that's my best friend and I got into, I had a self-defense situation, and I would say that's probably where majority of, things stem from, but I wouldn't necessarily say, everything stemmed from that. I mean, I have best friends that, passed away from young ages from, gun violence and just not being in the right places at the right time, and just knowing that I have, people that was, close to me or around me who's not in the situation or could be in the same spots that I am. But, just like when I go back home, it's I'm visiting, some of my friends who are, at grave sites and doing those things. So it's different when you feel like your whole life is, football player or everything is geared towards this, but it's so much more to, just putting the pads on. And, like I say, it's like you ask day to day. It's not just that. It's, I'm school, just got married. There's so many things that comes with a person. But I feel like, that's kind of one of my main things.
When did you start, like, trying to care for yourself mentally after that incident? Did you just push it away for a while?
I would say with that happening at such a young age, my first couple of years, you just try to block everything out and like, at some point I'm gonna get over it, and you start to realize that just doesn't happen. You get older and you realize, hey, no matter the age, no matter the person, no matter the situation, everyone needs help at some point, and it's just being able to kind of step up and know, no, this is the help I need, or this is what I need to ask for. And even talking with my dad, talking with my mom, she was in the Army. My dad, past Marine, ex-cop. So he's sent me books. We've communicated back and forth. It's not just, I have my support system here, but I also have my support system home. And I feel like that's the biggest thing. I'll say now I'm probably the most level-headed and clear that I've probably been within the last 5 or 6 years.
You mentioned in your tweet that the chief staff helped you get through your latest struggle.
Yeah.
Is there some sort of treatment or some sort of help that they're giving you that you really want to?
To really go step by step, man, that'll be a Julie Freimeyer question. I know everybody knows that name. She's amazing, and even Rick Vokrolder, he's also amazing. Anything that I need, I just kind of communicate to them, let them know just kind of how I'm feeling, and it's a funnel of things that they go through initially when they were asking me the questions, just trying to see my temperament of certain things. Not really big on taking medicine, so it's more of just having different mechanisms of coping and having people to talk to who actually know or could help me through those situations. And it's not just the medical staff. All the way down to we have Schaefer and some of the guys who are on our security staff who ex-cops, ex-Marines, or just those things. I'm a guy who can talk to anybody. And if I can get the help from, even if it's one of you guys who I feel experienced something, or I could talk to, or a different coping mechanism that they feel help them, I try my best to get whatever I need for help so I can come out here and perform.
What would your message be to someone going through this?
Honestly, it just takes the courage to talk about it, and having PTSD and dealing with it. Once people kind of bring it up, it's not something that I always want to talk about, because I never really know how my body will react or my mind. It's just something that I can't really pinpoint or know exactly what's going to happen. But really, just having that safe space, and I feel like right now within those past 2 years, and actually being open with my dad, because it was points that he told me things that I feel like he never told anybody. Even guys that's probably part of his platoon, or guys that he was deployed with, probably, haven't heard the stories, or they know exactly what he's going through, but they haven't talked about it, to kind of let that release go. So I feel like talking is a big thing, but it's just getting over that hump personally, being able to know that, honestly, just everybody goes through things, good, bad, just being able to cope with it and know everybody's human, and everybody, it's some point it's a stepping stone. I just 25 years old, just trying to live the rest of my life healthy.
Clyde,
A couple more.
how much does a bond with someone like Isaiah? It seems like you guys have become really close. Help with that day-to-day.
Yeah, I mean, it's having a guy that I'm coming in the locker room, he's going to be smiling. Even if so, I feel like a lot of guys kind of tend to me for that spark. And as guys say I'm goofy, I feel like I'm kind of aware of my surroundings most of the time. But it's just being able to kind of spread that energy. And it's like if I'm that Debbie Downer or that guy that's not going to bring the energy, like what else are you going to bring? So I feel like I kind of rubbed off on Isaiah early on, just because I mean it's a learning path, learning curve. I mean I've had ups and downs through my past 5 years here. It's just being able to smile and get through it, and that's those things. He's dealt with injuries, he's dealt with those ups and downs, and I mean 2 Super Bowls, 2 years. He's on his high horse, and it's just being able to come in on those bad days, on those good days, and still be able to smile, and I feel like that's the best part.
Clyde, with PTSD, what are you on the worst days? What are you dealing with? What's that like for you?
Honestly, man, I really, I have PTSD and sickly vomiting syndrome, so it's something that's kind of neurologically that they just kind of help me with and walk through it. And I mean, sometimes I'm admitted into the hospital, something like can't stop throwing up, and it's just I can't nothing pretty much to stop it. And the only person who kind of put me in the right direction was Julie Frymeyer early on, to get me some of the meds at the time when I am probably going through an episode to get me over that hump. But it's real bad dehydration, dropping real fast. But it's really just mentally just not being there. And it's one of those things where, early on, like guys who kind of pay attention, Trav, Kadarius at times, they can even they'll know ahead of time, okay, Clyde might not, he's not laughing, he's not giggling, he's not himself. We just got to make sure we checking on him as the person, not to just be out here the energy giver, the laugher, the guy that kind of keeps the locker room going. I feel like that's a big part of what I bring. And then once my number called, it's go out there and perform, and they know it's no question with that. So I feel like that's just what it is.
Is there a message that you'd like to get out to maybe other people that are dealing with PTSD?
I would say dealing with PTSD, seek help when possible, but don't make it a burden on a person that's dealing with PTSD. Take little steps, walk them through certain things. Don't try to be overwhelming, and then try to not bring up the trauma as much as possible. Even after, unfortunately after the parade, I either went on Facebook or Twitter also, and I just kind of wanted to remind everybody in KC, it's not something that you want to keep bringing up. You never want to bring up past traumas or bad things, because you never really know what funnel that'll bring the next person down, or what situation or what spot that they were in during that time. So try to lead in positive direction, and I feel like being a football player and kind of being that stand-up guy and guys who are looked up to, feel like it was at least my job, or some guys to kind of step up and talk about the things that some people feel vulnerable enough not to talk about.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Clyde.
Thanks, Clyde.